go much deeper into the brass. Brass, busy with the brass. Welcome back to another episode of Soph and Cole. I'm very, very excited about this one because this is the episode where we get busy with the brass. We always wanted to do a brass curtain post, which you will have seen or not seen, which you saw in the last episode. So we have our cafe style curtains with the brass post that sits kind of halfway up our window. It's amazing. This video, we're going to go much deeper into the brass as we put up our brass brackets, our brass pot hanging rail, the brass pot hanging rings, and the brass gallery rails on both of the shelves that sit either side of the range hood. And Cole is going to be building out our brand new, much nicer looking range hood that will enclose this one here. So I just wanted to take you through the companies that I found that we've purchased the brass from, because obviously it's quite expensive to buy brass, and even if something costs like £3 or £4, when you need multiple of them to have like around a shelf, it can be quite expensive, and the shipping is quite expensive because it's heavy. So I found two companies I want to talk to you about. The first is House of Brass. They were the same company that we purchased the curtain rail from. That curtain rail was about 13mm thick. The gallery shelf rail, which is this one, is so bendy. I know I'm trying to pick it up, but it's bending. It's like a tightrope thing. 6mm thick. So this is perfect. This is going to go around the edge of the shelf. So I don't know how we'll try and show you this, but the shelf's going to sit here. And then we have a number of these kind of central throughs, and then there'll be corners, and then there's a stopper on each of the ends. So it will basically sit like a little rail to stop anything falling off, but just add like a much nicer like touch of brass. We got such a score with our shelves because it's actually an offcut, the bench top. Cole wasn't sure that we should use it because it's a bit thicker than you probably get as a shelf, but the wood's so lovely, the oak's here, and obviously it matches perfectly. I just didn't think it was worth buying anything separately. And actually I think maybe now he's come around to my opinion. Funny that. So that's going to go on the top of both of the shelves, and then underneath the shelves they are being held up by these solid brass iron bridge brackets. Now, gallery shelves all from House of Brass. All of the shelf kind of under adornments are from a company I found called Wood and Wax. And they're so reasonable in terms of how much. I think this bracket costs like £9. If you try and buy them on some other more famous sites or even on eBay, you're looking at like £20, £25 per bracket. This is quite a small one. You can get them much bigger. We didn't need a bigger one for our shelves, so it was a good way to save a bit of money. And then underneath the brackets, we will have these beautiful, I don't know what they're called, but I guess like pot hanging rails, or, sometimes people do have copper pots hanging off of here, or ladles, or I really want to use them for kind of upside down dried flowers like rosemary or lavender, and just kind of make it look country cozy. So under the shelves will be this rail, which is great. So each of the rails we bought end connectors. We bought I actually don't know how thick. I think this might be 25mm thick, this third piece of rod. And then we purchased these rail fixtures and fittings. It's all on the website. It all fits to match. There's not like loads of options, so it makes it quite simple. And shipping wasn't too bad for them. So that is what is coming next. And then I will also cut to showing you some of the bits and pieces that I've been collecting over the last, I guess, like month now, or 2 months. That's going to be styled, I think, on the shelf. So very excited to go on this brass finishing journey with you in the kitchen and the range hood. This is going to look amazing. Stay tuned. Cole has to drill, I think it's 12 holes in the backsplash tiles. He's done one as a practice. It looks good, but we just know one of them is going to break. Not to do with his skill level, but it's just statistics, right? So let's see how many tiles we break.
So Soph has really been on my back about getting these shelves up, and I may have been slightly sort of hesitant and maybe delaying, making some excuses because I am quite nervous. So I'm going to try and put this first one up. This is the smaller of the two, using this bracket here. So this is a special drill bit for tiles, and I have had a little practice run. I'll show you what I've done. You'll see here. That's a pretty crisp, perfect circle. So hopefully when I do the wall, I'm going to get the same result. The worst thing to happen would be to crack a tile, which would be devastating. So I'm not going to film the first one because I'm really nervous, but if it works, I'll film another one and show you. All right, so we had success over this side. So it wasn't too hard. And for those of you interested in how I put this bracket up, I'll show you a few very simple steps. For those of you who don't care, just fast forward maybe a minute or so. But basically what I do is I hold the bracket up to the wall once I've measured up, and I mark out the holes as to where I want it. I then go on with this drill bit, which is a special one for tiles. I'll leave a link in the description. This one's excellent, and I think it was around £10. All right, apologies about the lighting. Now, you basically just very gently, but hopefully quite accurately, place this where you want it. And I'd start at a very low speed. You just want to break through that kind of glossy surface of the tile. You start to see what looks like a bit of smoke, but it's just a bit of a dust, and that means that you have broken through. So just a tiny little divot there. I'm not really pushing at all, just holding enough to hold it in place. And once you're through the tile, I then use another drill bit, which is a little more narrow than the hole, and go a little deeper into the wall. And then I fill the hole with one of these guys. All right, 3 neat holes, ready to put the bracket on. Something else to consider when you're putting your bracket up is make sure you're putting the bracket up that you use to mark out the holes, because the brackets, being brass, hand forged, all that kind of thing, the holes tend to be slightly off. You might find that you're putting the bracket up and it's not fitting the way you thought it would. And that's generally why. It's because you might have picked up another bracket, not the one used to mark out the holes. There we go. So I'm now just cutting up the brass rod to fit into these things. And to do that, I'm just using this. Takes probably a minute to get through one cut. And you get 2 blades. I think they're around £5 or something for 2 blades from Screwfix. So that's just a really easy, clean way to do it without any, machinery. So I'll get that together, get it on the wall, and then I'll give you an update.
Our new kitchen light has arrived. I ordered it from a place called Lighting Hub. I don't know. Never heard of the brand before. It's called DAR Lighting. And it's in a really big box, so we're a little bit worried. But let's just hope it's to protect it, not that it's full of... It's a 5 bulb vibe, so it is much bigger than... Show them this we've been living with since we moved in. It's the DAR Lighting Semi-flush brushed bronze... I can't even speak. Semi-flush brushed bronze. Oh, is it 5? Yeah, it's 5. So these shades will be on all of them. I'm standing in such a weird position. But I'm not to just hold it by this. I guess I could do it like that. And then this will hang down.
It's a couple of days later, in true Cole style, I forgot to film the rest of it. But you can see here, the rail's gone up. It's looking really sharp. We're so happy. I'll show you a bit more of that at the end of the video when we do some nice photos. I've just moved on to the extract fan cover. So I've just cut some holes in the coving there to make room for the cover itself. And I'm literally using scrap MDF from other projects. So I haven't had to pay for anything for this cover, which is great. So some old pine, MDF. I'm also going to use some of the trim from the kitchen that was left over. So it should tie in really nicely. And I'm also just working on the skirting boards in here, trying to get them looking nice and sharp. So I've got the cover up, but now I need to make it look pretty.
So this is probably more specific for the people that watch our videos in the UK, and I think probably in Australia they have Aldi as well. But I just have to, I've told a friend of mine at work about this, and I just wanted to share it because the Aldi Hotel Collection pomegranate candle is the best. Like, I love having candles around. This is not an ad, by the way. Of course it's not an ad. I love having candles around all the time. Just the flicker, something about it, and the smell. But I used to buy like quite expensive candles, and then I never want to light them. And my friend makes candles, and so the first time you light a candle, it has to be lit for an hour at least, so that it evenly burns, and it's just a whole thing. And sometimes you don't do that, and then it's a bit of a waste. But this candle, honestly, it smells so good. It's double wick, and it's like a proper size wick. I remember once I got a diptyque candle, which I spent so much money on, and the wick was too small for the vessel. So it basically tunneled down and then just went out in like a few hours. This candle, we're trying to look at the size, which is 335 grams. Like, it's a sizable candle, is £3.15. Always, never on special. It's just the price. It's the cheapest candle. It smells amazing. It's just such a good deal. I just have them stocked up because we just go through them so much, but I never feel bad about lighting it. And it always smells so nice, and it's always available, and it's always £3.15. So if you're looking for a good everyday candle, especially now as we're getting into winter in England, it's really nice to have them lit around the house. Can recommend this one. So I'm so excited for every part of this kitchen, but I have to say the thing I'm most excited about is the gallery rail shelves that we're putting in. We've probably spent, well, a small fortune on brass in the last couple of weeks, but in the last few months, actually, I've been kind of like, charity shops, kind of Emma Bridgewater had a seconds sale, and I've been kind of like collecting, I think, a few little bits that I hope are gonna, it won't all fit, but like things that I really want to have displayed on this shelf. It's going to be too high for like daily use. So it's like stuff that's going to sit up there and be really decorative, but I don't think Cole's seen my stash. So
I'm quite surprised by the box.
I know, I've been keeping it in a box upstairs in the airing cupboard. So I wanted to take you through it as I show him what's going to be on these very expensive gallery rail shelves. So the first three things I wanted to show you were, it's a real throwback. And if you followed us a few months ago, before we had a big reprieve, when I was doing the pottery class with my mum, and we bought her a pottery class for Mother's Day, and she asked me to go with her. And so these are my three bowls. And so I just wanted to show you because I'm very proud of them, but also obviously I'm a total amateur. So first up is this little bowl. I don't know what you'd use it for. Maybe it could be for dips. It's got a little bit of a foot, but it's got this little like navy print.
So this is one of the ones you've made?
Yeah, and I put the date on the bottom. So this is at the Pottery Barn that my mum and I went to.
Well, I hope I don't drop it.
Yeah, it's very expensive for very amateur.
It's very good.
Yeah, I like the blue. I want it. When we started the house, we were like doing so much green. But I feel recently we've been trying to bring a lot more blue in, and so
it's got your initials.
That, yeah, they stamp that when you have made them because obviously they need to know who's who.
You've done a very good job.
Thank you. This one is the worst one of probably of them all because I tried to do a straight line, and it's very hard to do a straight line when you don't have like I don't know. I guess I'm blaming the tools. But this is my salt pig. So again, very much the cream and the blue. But this is like a Neptune bowl that I tried to copy. But on the inside, I did do our initial.
It's very cool.
When
I'll do
I
a zoom
showed,
in
just to
shot.
be aware, when I showed Cole this, he's like, "What does M stand for?" This is probably my favourite one. I saw this; it's like a Portmeirion style one, um, and again, not quite sure what you would use it for. Maybe like I don't know what, but I tried to do like a little green vine again on the cream, and on the inside there's like a crackle glaze. So these are the first three items. I have loved this plate for ages. I don't know if it's the real one or not, but I've seen it on Facebook Marketplace. It's the Rose Bouquet plate by Johnson Bros. So it's a square, everything else is a circle, but I just thought it was really cute. And I think, what way does it go up? Probably that way. That on like a stand could look really nice. I love this is probably like kind of the same vibe I was trying to go for here. I didn't do as good of a job. The next two pieces we got when we were in a charity shop in Whitstable, which first of all is an actual Portmeirion little jug, and it's actually not a very nice. I think I've shown them this already in the previous one, but maybe you didn't follow us back then. It's not like the nicest scene. There's like a guy with an axe as I look at it, but it's quite a nice enamel, very matte. Like you wouldn't want to get any oil splatters on it. Another plate, but this time a smaller one. This one's a bit smaller than before. I wonder if we could actually pop this up on one of the walls.
Oh, I really like that one.
Yeah, so this is a Spode plate. This cost me £10 taking off the label now.
How much?
£10. This is the Provincial Garden, and so it's got like a Green Man kind of vibe. The rest of the stuff is actually Emma Bridgewater. So I got this in May in their second sale, and I just knew I liked it. Again, I don't think these things are all going to go on the wall. This is the Antique Roses, Emma Bridgewater. It's a tin tray. I think it cost me £5. And just really, really cute vibes. Like this is back before we'd done the kitchen, obviously, and I wanted to try and bring the dark red in. But this is just a nice actual tray to use. Oh, I also bought this. Oh, I bought this when we were in Dartmouth, remember? In Devon.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember.
So this is a little Laura Ashley blue rose. I don't know if it's rose. Yeah, it's like spray roses. Briar rose, made in Staffordshire. Laura Ashley, like a little, I don't know, sugar jar or something. Then I got this and matches that tray, the Antique Rose plate. I think I paid like £8 for this.
Oh, not from the same place?
Yeah, it's both from Emma Bridgewater.
No, sorry. When you paid for them, were they from the same shop?
They were all from Emma Bridgewater online.
Oh, you got this online?
These two things I got online. Okay. That's where the boxes come from.
Roger.
Yeah, so that would I'd actually love that to go on the wall. And it was so cheap because it's a second, so it's got some black marks, but I think that makes it look more rustic.
Yeah, that's the best. I like that.
Yeah. So I was fun with that. And the final thing in this Antique Roses is this little tea tray. So you put your cup of tea and a little biscuit on there, which is very cute. But that could look quite nice just up. Not sure. Oh, yes. This matches that smaller Portmeirion jug, but this is a much nicer, aesthetic. It's grapes and vines, which is more our vibe.
Since filming that footage, we have done quite a bit of work, and we also purchased a few other things for the pot rail. So I'll just show you those really quickly. I think this is called a chestnut roaster. Correct me if I'm wrong. We picked this up off eBay. I think it was around £9 plus £3 shipping, which I think that's a pretty good deal. That's solid brass and it's really cool. Something funky. We're not going to use it. It's purely for aesthetics, but it looks really good on the wall. And this one's so found. A little copper and a bit of brass. It says cider on it. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up or not. This was off Vinted. We buy quite a lot of stuff off Vinted now. Vinted's kind of expanding its horizons. You can buy all sorts of stuff on there now, not just clothes. So yeah, we picked this up. I think it was 15. I know she was asking 15. I don't know if that's what Soph paid, but that's what it was going for. And we've got another little jug here. Yeah, this little jug. Soph's parents picked this up for us on their travels somewhere. I can't remember where they went, but they were away for a weekend. Little copper jug. That's really cool. We've still got a long way to go with styling, as you'll see very soon. We kind of put stuff up, take it down. We still need to fill a few gaps in, but for now it's starting to look, it's taking shape. So we'll show you what it looks like very soon. So we'll wrap this video up here and I'll show you all the photos of how the kitchen's looking. We're super happy with it. It is probably 99% done. You may or may not notice there's a few little bits that need a bit of caulking here and there, nothing major. We will do a video in the future that tells you exactly what we've done, where we've got it from, how much every single thing cost, and a grand total basically. We did have a budget. We are, well, to be fair, I've not added it up yet, so I'm not too sure if we've come in within that budget, but I think we've done pretty well, especially because we have done a lot of the work ourselves. It's been a massive learning curve. I wouldn't say it's been easy, but I don't think it was as hard as I thought it was going to be. So all in all, pretty good. Definitely not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It is that country cozy kind of kitchen. It's not your modern day bright white kind of look. But yeah, it's what we were going for. I think we pretty much hit the nail on the head with it. It is super cozy. We're really enjoying the space. Obviously, this fridge is probably the only kind of standout thing. Now, we got this before we did the kitchen, and we decided we're just going to keep it. It isn't the right color. It probably sticks out a little bit too much, but it'll do the job. This isn't our forever home, so it'll do for now. But please let us know what you think in the comments. If you like it, like the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Now that the kitchen's done, I am feeling a little bit lost and a little bit sort of like empty. My days feel a bit empty. So we are going to move on to the next room pretty quickly. We were going to have a break, but it's just not going to happen. So we're hoping to get the sort of living lounge room done before Christmas time. That's going to involve new flooring. We've got a wallpaper, some paneling, built-in shelving, a little kind of bar area, some nice curtains. Drapes. Do people even use that word? What is a drape? Is it the same as a curtain? I don't know. Anyway, curtains are going up. So yeah, if you want to see more of that, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take it easy.